all of my gems family. How are you doing? This is Life with Marlene, your Florida vlogger. Welcome into today's conversation and podcast. I really appreciate every single one of you. Today I want to talk about what many people face. We have things that happen in our life that gets us kind of discouraged from time to time. And I wanted to encourage somebody with this message today is just because you get down, don't stay down. We have choices that we can make every day. And trust me, I know that it's not easy for a lot of people. I know that life is going to come with problems and issues, but also at the same time, we have to make better choices. So we have to make good choices, not just good choices for other people, but also for ourselves. We have to think about how are we doing? Are we happy in our life? And if we're not, to do something about that, to not just stay in the space of being upset and miserable and being a part of drama. And I want to say to everybody, if you have ever got discouraged, or if you're discouraged right now and you're really unhappy, that it's okay to not be okay. There's too many people who stay in this fakeness of like you have to be robotic. And we're not robotic, we're human beings. And we have feelings, we go through things, we get frustrated, we go through issues and problems, and it doesn't make us a bad person. It just makes us human, and it's most definitely a part of the human experience to know that I get discouraged sometimes. I feel sad, but it does not make me a bad person. It makes me human, and I deserve to process my feelings, my emotions, and what I'm going through. And if you get down, you can allow yourself to be down. We don't have to be perfect. You don't always have to have a plastic smile on your face, but also at the same time, don't stay there. Don't stay in that dark space. Unfortunately, there are people around that want to see you unhappy. They smile at your unhappiness. And I think that that's a very weird thing. But there are individuals, they like to see you unhappy. They like to see you stuck. They like to see you drowning in your problems, being miserable and unhappy. So we are the ones that have to shift that. If you want to be happy, you have to do some things to make yourself happy. And it cannot reside in toxic, manipulative, and judgmental people. You have to leave those judgmental people alone and let them be. Leave them alone. And that's one of the best things that I ever could do for myself is giving myself the permission to just be me unapologetically and leaving those toxic people alone. When you're going through situations, which there are many situations that can happen to us as adults that can get us down and get us discouraged. It could be just the struggle of trying to provide for yourself financially. It can be just not getting along with other people, people who are very judgmental and angry, people who put you in the middle of drama. It's feeling upset or angry when you don't feel supported and loved, or if you're dealing with a health problem, those and much more, because it's not an all inclusive list. Anything that happens to us and makes us feel down or discouraged, we have the right to feel that way. You have a right to feel how you feel, and don't let anybody tell you how you should feel. Don't let other people tell you how to process it either. I just want to encourage all of my GEMS family and say, if you're feeling down, that's okay. If you're going through something, that's okay. If you're experiencing problems, if you feel discouraged, all of that is okay because we're human and problems come along with life. But what's not okay is to stay in that space and keep yourself upset, angry, and sad for long periods of time. That part is not okay. Hey, Shantirement, how are you doing? Welcome and happy Monday. Yeah, that's the thing that's not okay. It's not okay to be in that space of anger. That's not all right. That's not all right. You have to let yourself be free of that. And I know from being a person that walked around carrying a lot of resentments and anger and the expectation that this person and that person should have treated me better and this person that person should have supported me and loved me, and look what I've done and how much I've been there for them. That just because we have had people in our lives and we've done good for them, it doesn't mean that it's an automatic thing. It doesn't mean that they're going to automatically give us love back, support, compassion, friendship, romantic love. It does not equate that just because you're good to somebody, it doesn't mean they're going to be good to you back. And that hurts, right? Because we're humans, we're not robots, and we just don't like how it feels. And that part is natural. But what is not okay is for us to not learn the lesson. That's what's important. This is the takeaway with today's message is that we go through things, people hurt us. Maybe you didn't pay attention to the red flags and you ignored that. This is your opportunity now, is when someone does something to you the first time, it's shame on them. The second time, it's shame on you, because we should never allow someone to come back around and hurt us once again. That means that we didn't learn the lesson, we didn't grow from the situation, we didn't make better decisions, and we didn't love ourselves enough to say, I don't have to be a doormat and I don't have to be used and abused. Hey, Sirius, how are you doing? Welcome in. And I think that's something that's so important for us to understand, that we don't have to be used. We don't have to be taken advantage of. And the way that we feel is important, it's valid, but we are the ones that have to validate ourselves and to say, I'm feeling this way. I'm feeling discouraged. I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling not supported. I'm going through this and this. But the problem, why we get in this space of feeling so down and discouraged, is because we don't communicate how we're feeling. And if you came from the generation that I came from, where your opinion was not something that other people wanted to hear, and when you get used to keeping everything inside and keeping it to yourself, that's toxic. And we don't want to be toxic. We want to be happy. We want to be healed. We want to be positive. So, something that we each have to learn is that, not that we have to tell everybody what we're going through and what we're dealing with, but the right people, the people who have had a track record of supporting us, that have been careful with our heart. They have shown up for us, they have supported us. Those are the individuals that we need to communicate. This is what I'm going through. This is how I'm feeling. I'm feeling really down. And they're going to pull you up. They're going to be literally give you a hand up, to pull you up, to strengthen you, to empower your mind. And everybody needs people like that in their life. And I had to learn how to have people like that in my life, because if you're anything like me, that you have some of those very toxic, manipulative, angry, jealous individuals. So you have to dismiss that toxicity. You have to remove yourself from those individuals because what happens if you don't remove yourself from toxic people? You will feel like you're never enough, that you're not doing enough, that you're not good, that you're not a good person, that you're not worthy and deserving of whatever it is that you've done. We are the ones that we also have to validate ourselves and not looking for validation from a romantic relationship, from a friend, from social media, from relatives, from whoever. We have to self validate and not looking for it, that that validation from the outside, the external validation, because all of that which is outside, it's ever changing. When people get, things will be good between you and them for a while, and then one day they just decide they don't want to be around you, they don't like you, they don't want to be in a relationship with you anymore. People can change just like they change their underwear, but that's what it is. Hey realist, how are you doing? Sirius says my day is going amazing. Awesome. Sirius says that's the absolute truth. Realist says lean. Yes, real as always. So that's one thing that I honestly I had to learn to love myself for who I was, not for who other people think I should be. And if I'm going through something, I had to actually say that out loud, and you should too. I'm going through something right now. I feel sad, upset, angry, lonely, discouraged. You have to say it out loud. This is how I feel. That is a part of self validation and being self aware. And also to say, I'm feeling down, I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling discouraged, and I don't want to stay this way. That's very important to say those words. You can go through things, you can feel sad, you can feel discouraged, but don't allow yourself to stay in that space, that negative space of keeping yourself there. You have to find ways for self healing, healing that brokenness, healing that doubt, healing that desire to want validation externally. We can't look for other people to validate us. We have to validate ourselves. We have to see our own importance. And that's so important. It wasn't until I learned to love myself, until I learned that my opinions were important, my feelings are important, and I don't deserve to be run over and taken advantage of and used and abused and ghosted, and people will stop, cut off all communication with you, and then one day just pop up out of the blue, talking to you, texting you like nothing happened. Like, wait a minute, you haven't talked to me for weeks, months, or years, and that's not okay. Don't let people drop in and out of your life. That's not acceptable. Hey, real odds and evens, how are you doing? Welcome in, welcome, welcome. Sirius says, right, self awareness is the cornerstone of critical thinking. I'll never regret being a good person. And that is something important that a lot of people really need to key in to that message right there. Sirius, a lot of people don't understand self awareness, being aware of who you are as a woman, who you are as a man, and validating yourself and saying, I'm intelligent, I'm smart, I'm capable, I can do great things. Or giving yourself, applying some self compassion. I'm going through something right now and I deserve a break for my healing. I deserve to, if you need hugs, If you need just someone to connect with you, just to listen to you while you vent your feelings, you deserve to have that space to say how you feel. And if other people don't want to be there and be supportive of that, then you leave them alone. Don't try to force that. Make sure that it's somebody who is there for you. They listen and they're not going to make you feel worse. Because one of the worst things that you can ever do is open up to somebody about your deepest feelings, things, something that you're going through, some way that you're feeling, and someone just, oh, like, oh, whatever, or that's not important, or why are you talking about that? Just because another person may not see the importance, have never felt what you feel, it doesn't mean your feelings aren't valid. It's some really cruel people, evil literally, that they only care about themselves, very, very selfish. And those are the same individuals that you've probably bent over backwards and done so many good things for them. But now, when it's your time of need and support, and you're in need of encouragement, it's not there for them because they're selfish or they have some mental illness or a combination of many factors. Some people don't want you to be healed. They want you to stay broken. They want you to be the complainer. But when you want to shift that and you want to be have some loving kindness extended to you, some compassion, then you deserve to receive that. Don't feel guilty. Don't feel bad. And you don't always have to be the one put together all the time. You don't always have to be the strong one. If you're a strong person for many people, you also deserve for other people to be strong for you. As sometimes you become unglued and you cry your eyes out or you vent however you're feeling. But we each deserve to have those safe spaces for us to communicate, to feel loved, supported, and encouraged. That is so important. hmm Let's see what else I missed. Welcome in, Real Odds and Evens. How are you doing? Sirius says there will be people that will uh, deliberately ignore, hurt you, and hurt you for no good reason. Life is too short to spend all of my energy trying to change the other people's opinions of me. Let them think whatever. Mm. And that was me for a long time, serious. And I think that many of us have felt that way as well. That we've allowed people to treat us like garbage, treat you like crap, run over you, backstab you. We think that we need them and because of a title. Oh, that's my boyfriend. That's my girlfriend. That's my husband. That's my wife. That's my sibling. That's my parent. That's my friend, right? Just because people have a title or we've known people for a long time, it doesn't mean that we need to keep them in our life. Many relationships we should have ended a long time ago because it's not good for us. So, especially during the times where we need support, we need love, we need a listening ear, then you should most definitely, absolutely, without a doubt, receive the support that you need. We most definitely deserve to get the support that we need. So stop looking for the people who have never shown up for you. They've never cared. When you try to tell them about something, they cut you off or they try to diminish it like it's important. It has no value. That's stupid. Or I don't want to talk about it. They change the subject or they're on their phone scrolling. They're not listening to you. There's zero eye contact, no compassion for you or your feelings. That is not a person that you should trust to open up and listen to you because they're not going to. For one reason or another, they don't care about you. So leave those people alone and find those people who have been there for you. Like I've said before, they have a track record of supporting you. They have done right. They listen to you. They give you good advice. Or just a person that just doesn't say anything and they just listen to you as you go on your however long you need to conversation and just vent. This is what I'm going through, blah, blah, blah. And this person did this, and this is how I feel. And they don't interrupt you, they just listen. And listening really is an art form. And a lot of people do not know how to be a good listener. Being a good listener does not involve interrupting other people. It involves you just being quiet and paying attention to what the person is saying, that afterwards, after they get out whatever it is that they're saying, you say, what do you need from me? Do you need advice, or did you just need to get that off your chest? When you have good people like that that know the difference, some people only know how to offer solutions, and not all the time a solution can be had. There are certain situations that happen in our life that that's going to be your lot in life. Those who deal with health problems or deal with certain situations, that's going to be, as I call, a thorn in your flesh. That's something, a heavy weight that you're going to have to carry around. But just because you're going through something, dealing with something, have problems, it doesn't mean you shouldn't talk about how you're feeling. We all need people that support us, and I don't mean including relatives. I'm talking about people that just are there for you with no strings attached. The only strings attached is the one that's linked to their heart. They're there for you, and they friend you. They love you. They encourage you. They want to see you happy. They want you to have peace in your life. Those are the individuals that we need. Hi, Angela. How are you doing? Welcome in. Happy Monday. Oh, that's okay, Sirius. No problem. Yes, Sirius. Amen. Hi, Metro. How are you doing? Welcome in. And that's something that's very important, that we have to understand that everybody doesn't care about us. But we have to care about us. We have to care about how we're feeling, and give ourselves the permission to feel that. I know for many years I used to feel very, very guilty that I felt this way or that way about something, because we get used to holding everything inside. We get used to being there for everybody. But I want to say to anybody who's listening that needs to hear that, if you fall down, don't stay down. Don't let people keep kicking you. Don't let people keep running over you and disrespecting you, taking advantage of you, taking your money, making you feel like you're nothing. If you have people in your life and they never are pulling you up, they're never empowering you, saying something positive, telling you how important you are and that you can do great things, and that they're there for you, to listen to you, to support you in more ways than one. Because it's not just financially that you can support people, it's being a listening ear, it's giving people spiritual support, it's helping people, just being there and being an active listener. Notice I said active listener, not just blabbing off at the mouth, telling people what they should do. See, because what may work for us, it may not work for them. Everybody has different financial situations. People have different personalities. One thing, what is it? What's good for the goose may not be good for the gander. What may work for you may not work for them. So we can't just think, oh, this worked for me, so that's what you should do. Part of being a good friend, a good loved one to others is asking people, what do they want? Do they want a solution or do they want support? That's important right there. Do they want a solution or do they want support? And I know that there was many times in my life where I just felt overwhelmed. You know how like when you have so much going on in your brain that you don't even know what you need. You just sometimes just want somebody to just be like, I'm here for you. And for me, that carries a very heavy weight. Just having people to say, I'm here for you. And a person, having people in your life that will take the initiative to love you at that moment. I always say that you find out who really loves you when you're going through situations. You really find out who are your friends when you're struggling. You really find out who loves you when maybe you didn't make the best decision, or when maybe you stuck your foot in your mouth and you said something that you should not have. You really find out who people really are when you maybe don't do the right things, or when you're in a situation where you need other people. You always find out who really loves you and supports you when you are in a time of need. And that's okay. When people scatter and leave your life, I always say that's one of the best gifts, when people leave your life when you're struggling, because you already know who are the individuals that are going to pull you out. They're going to rescue you. They're going to go on a rescue mission. They're not going to let their friend or loved one drown. They're going to be there for you. So be sure, everybody, to make sure you're asking for help from those people who love you. The ones who say, can I help you with something? And you know that they mean that sincerely. I always say, test it out. You know, when people say, I'm here for you, test that out. Oh, yeah, you're here for me? Test it out. See if they really are there for you when you really do need something. Okay? Let's see what's going on in the comments. Metro says the ones will be there at our worst and willing to support us at our best. That shows courage and appreciation presented. Yes. Yeah, if people can be there for us in our darkest hours, in our time where our mental health is not in the best space, when we're struggling financially, when you have a health problem, or you're just going through something, you really find out who's really there for you when you are in need. And those friends, those loved ones, those people who pour into you, ask for you, show up for you without you having to ask, those are the people that is worth their weight in gold. Make sure that you also, after maybe your situation switches or lifts, make sure to do some kind things like acknowledging their support. Thank you so much for being there for me in my time of need. Thank you for your friendship, for your love, for your whatever. Remember, gratitude goes a long way, because people don't have to do things for you. But when they do you remember? Do you remember to say, thank you for helping me when I was drowning, when my mental health wasn't in a good space, or when I was feeling discouraged, when I was going through X, Y, and Z, when I was feeling depressed, or when I was grieving, whatever your situation or your problem is. Never forget to pour back into people when they have poured into you. That's so important. Sarah says, that part. There it is, Metro. We come to realize what's going on, and we know what we must do for everything to be resolved. Sometimes making critical decisions are a challenge, and we have to choose wisely. We sure do. You got to choose wisely, and you have to find out who people really are. And if people really are your friends, or it's just it's just people flapping their gums, just people saying things. People love to say, "I'm here for you if you need me," and then when you actually do need them and you test it out, it's crickets. They're nowhere to be found. They're here comes the excuses. Oh, I'm busy right now, or I got this going on. But when you are there for them in their desperate hour and their time of need, and in your time of need, it's nothing. So we have to see who people really are and pay attention to the people who are really there for us, and don't take that for granted. Don't think that people have to do it, but they did it and they didn't have to. Appreciate them, show them love, respect, and support them back, because everybody needs a friend. Everybody needs another person to be there for them as well. You know, it goes back and forth. It's about um, it's about cross support. It's about encouragement and listening and upbuilding, encouraging one another. That is so important. Realist says, I just had that conversation with somebody yesterday about how all it takes is the slightest predicament to see who's really who. Yeah, and it doesn't have to be in no big things like you're about to lose your shirt, or it sometimes it's the simple things like you're just feeling kind of down or discouraged. You feel some type of way about a situation. Maybe you feel slighted from somebody, and just somebody, and you pick up the phone and make a phone call. You want to talk to somebody, and they're not even on that sort of time with you. They're not willing to be there for you like you have been there for them. So it really is eye opening, and we have to be aware of those things, and act accordingly, right? We have to move in the way of the way people show up. We have to pay attention to people's actions, but we cannot let ourselves stay in dark spaces with dark people. We have to be in those spaces. This is how I feel. This is what I'm going through, and seek help. I always want to tell everybody, put on your oxygen mask. If you're not breathing, if you're going through something, you need to find some sources of how you can breathe, how you can lift some of this heaviness on your heart, how you can lift some of this weight on your back. We all need support. It, we have to check our ego sometimes. I have been in that situation where I just don't want to tell anything to anybody because I don't want other people to know my situation and what I'm going through. And that's why I said not just telling every and anybody, but people who have had the reputation of being there for us in the past, being compassionate and understanding with us. Those are the individuals that we open up and we share. Not, it doesn't have to be big things, but just something as simple to like, I just I'm in need of some encouragement. It could be something just as simple as that. You could just be down for that day. Maybe you had a bad day and you just need someone to empower your mind and to tell you, you're a good person, you're a good friend, you're nice, you're wonderful, and you're doing the best that you can, and you should be proud of yourself. Sometimes we need that from people that care about us, because we're human and we get down and we get discouraged, but we can't stay in that space. Okay? So, I forgot where was I? Okay. Rilla says, even if it should take some time. Sarah says, how many times have you wondered if being good was really worth it? Most times we expect to receive what we give others as if it was a mathematical equation. Yeah, and I've done that many, many times, expecting like, okay, I've done this, 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 and this for them. Like actually doing like a laundry list of support from other people. I've done all of these things, and you could go through the long list. I've done this and this and this and this, and you're like, and they can't even give me this. Yeah, we can't expect for people to give what they don't possess. Some people don't know how to give us those things. They don't possess it, or they don't care, or they got their own situations that they're going through, so they don't have the bandwidth to support us. So we also have to understand that too. Not all the time it's because people don't care about us and that they don't love us, but they got their own heavy weights of responsibilities that they're dealing with as well. Um, Rilla says, and that's why I decided to simplify. Yes, that's true, Realists. I keep friend, my friends, right, and my loved ones. Though that list is very, very short. It's not just because a person is my relative that I automatically am gonna put you on that list, or because I've known you, or because I loved you at a certain point. You know, that's something that can shift and change very easily. People think sometimes because you love them once that it's once and for all time. We really do have to go through that evaluation and ask ourselves, was I ever loved by this person, or was it just me? And most of the time you'll find out the reality when, you're able to really face and be honest with yourself that you love them, but they never loved you. And that's harsh. It's hard, but it's the truth. Sarah says, we all wish the world was a fair ecosystem. Life is unpredictable with all of the coincidences and randomness. It is. We wish that things were all, you know, normal. I give you this, and then you give me that. But most of the time, it's more of taking than giving. Because people love to receive, but do they give? And most people don't. There's a lot of people who are very cheap, and I don't mean financially. I mean people are very cheap with their time, and they're very cheap with affection and support for others. But you have to open up your eyes and see it for what it is, and don't let people run over you and use you, right? And Angela says facts, serious. Yes, discussion and resolve what the problem could be. And it does get better. It does. It gets better when you see what you're allowing. I have to say, when I've been discouraged for a time, it was because I was giving more than I was receiving. And that hurts. You don't always expect for you to get the same weight, equal scales, but even the kindness of saying thank you, that you don't even get that. Like, they'll have the attitude, uh, you didn't have to do it for me. I didn't ask you to do it for me, or you didn't do much, or that wasn't anything. That was no big deal. And a lot of people don't understand the sacrifices that you have made in order to help or support other people. But that's okay, because that's a learning lesson. And as we learn, when we find out who people are, when that mask drops off, and we've really learned, okay, this person cannot be trusted. This person does not love me or themselves. So when you find out who people are, you got to believe them and free yourself. Stop expecting for people to give them you. Nobody is you. People aren't going to love you how you love them. People are going to do what they do. Don't even include love into that. Don't include support into that. If a person wanted to do it, they would. Don't excuse people's toxic behaviors. Just don't. Sierra says, I stand strong in the face of bad people. You will shrink their influence and amplify your own. So, this is the time where I wanted to say to everybody, if you're feeling down, you're feeling discouraged, if you have a heavy weight on your shoulders, a heavy weight on your heart, you're going through a lot, please reach out and get support from people who care about you. And sometimes we have to be the only one to care for ourselves. You know, when you may desperately need someone to put that oxygen mask on, nobody may be around. We have to think about ourselves. You have to support yourself and not expect for people to understand, know what we're going through. Some people can look at you and think, you're not going through anything. You're strong because maybe you've been strong for such a long time. There's many people who don't understand that you can get tired, very, very tired of always being the strong one. You can get very, very tired of always being the active listener. What about for them to be an active listener for you? But we learn, we live and we learn, we grow, we heal, we mature. We don't let people take advantage of us. We speak up for ourselves and we ask for what we need from the right people. We pour into ourselves and we show up for ourselves. We love ourselves unapologetically. If somebody cannot give you love, you need to give yourself love. If someone cannot give you friendship, you need to give yourself friendship. If somebody cannot give you support, you have to give yourself support. Okay? I feel like this was a really important conversation that I wanted to have before I got on with the rest of my evening. I'm sending you guys positive energy, vibes only over here on Life with Marlene. I wish you all nothing but the best. So if any of you are going through something, please reach out, talk to somebody. Don't try to handle things alone. And you know that I always will talk about faith. Don't try to carry the weight of the world on your own. It depends on what you feel. But for me, spiritually, anytime I'm feeling that other people cannot give me what I need, I always am going, my fallback, my go to is trusting God to help me through it. Never discount the power of prayer. Never discount that. God is faithful. God is there for you. But you have to seek Him out. You have to search for Him. Okay? You read His Word so that you can get the right thoughts, because sometimes it's our thoughts. We condemn ourselves. We're tough on ourselves. Or just sometimes maybe you haven't done what you need to do for yourself, and it may be time for you to start choosing yourself and choose peace and loving yourself the way you deserve, and stop waiting for people to love you how they want to love you. Okay? Thank you all so much for supporting this conversation. Everybody have a great rest of your night, and I will tap back on tomorrow with I think tomorrow is Transformational Tuesday. So let's talk about some things that we want to transform on our Tuesday. So I will chit chat with you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. I hope you all rest well and you take the best care of yourself. I'm Life with Marlene, your Florida vlogger, life coach, motivational speaker, positive mindset shifter. I wish you all the best. And you know what I say over here, love your life and live your life. Peace, guys. Oh, and if it's your first time here, feel free to subscribe and check out some other motivational content and vlogs. See you tomorrow.